Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video on Gran Turismo 7. I'm back with a daily race, as you can see, at this week's Daily C at Monza in Group 3. It's been a decent little combo. It could have been better with some strategy, but it gives some entertainment, I would say, 100%. So we're on the American account, as you can see here. We're starting from the back of the grid and we're not using the Supra. We're going with the Corvette. This was one of my first tries with in the actual race with the Corvette to see how it performs, and I was very, very surprised at how good this was. But we came across one of the biggest sore losers I've ever come across in Gran Turismo 7. So yeah, stick with this video and you will see what I'm talking about. So let's see what we can do, starting from P13. Let's see how far up the grid we can get here. So you see I'm on -1 at the moment. Probably would go to +1 on the brake bias, to be honest, with this car, just to give a bit more rotation. But one thing you need to be careful with the Corvette is when you're following another car very closely, the rear of this car becomes very, very loose because it just loses that downforce. So just be cautious with that. But it does have very good acceleration, as you can see here. Straight away getting the run on P12, sorry, going into turn 1. And you expect chaos into turn 1, but I was very, very pleasantly surprised with what we witnessed here. Very good driving from a lot of different drivers here. Really clean, tidy, and that was exceptional, I have to say. We were expecting a bit of chaos, but that was very nice there. Fair enough, the ghosting probably did help slightly, but overall still very good racing there through turn 1 and better than I expected. So now we're going to be going into the braking zone for the first chicane, and we're going to brake early. Always brake a little bit early here when you're going on lap 1, but the car behind just misses his braking slightly. I'm not sure if he was going for a move or what he was thinking there, but a little bit of a tap. I think he backed out, realised, and he had obviously give us a little bit of damage there. So we've got a little bit of damage on the rear right. We can see 3 wide in front of us with a car with a penalty. So again, we're just going to hold back a little bit here and wait for any potential chaos to kick off, and then we can take advantage. So again, you can see waiting back, taking the tight line to the right there because we didn't want to hit the car to our left. However, that's going to lose us a position to the car on our left there, the Mustang there, that's going to take advantage of that and go past us. So now we're going to get into the slipstream and get back past the car on the right. So back up to P13. Bit of a chaotic start through there in terms of the second Lesmo, but now we're coming through the Ascari, and you can see there we had to go very wide there with the Brazilian, go a little bit wide and rejoining the track, but luckily he did keep it to the right. He didn't just cut right across the track, and that gave me the ability to go around left. We can see another penalty in front of us there for the Mustang. So a lot of cars side by side going into this final corner. So we're going to just, again, wait for that damage to go on, and now we can get on the throttle and start pushing and see if we can get past some of these cars. We can see now we've got a Supra to our left. We're going to go to the right-hand side of that car. We've got the slipstream to the Mustang, and now you can see there the Supra, I think, wanted to pit, but didn't realise we were to his right-hand side, which he should have really paid attention to, and we've picked up some damage there. So again, more damage off another car, but nothing we could really do there. We're just doing an overtaking. He didn't even realise we were on his right-hand side. So now we're going to push through the first chicane. You can see following behind the McLaren in front of us. We're up to P8. A lot of people have pitted there, so that gives us the chance now to try and make our way towards the front. You can see by the time we get to the Ascari chicane, you can see we've got 2 cars with penalties in front of us. We're still in P8, but this is going to be 2 positions gained, hopefully, by the time they take their penalties. So taking their penalties, and there's P7 for us, and we should be able to get ourselves up into P6 before the final chicane, sorry, the final corner. And that is P6 there for us now. So not too bad. We're on lap 2, the end of lap 2, and we're up to P6, and it's just about getting ourselves towards the front. So what we were doing on this account was we were making sure that we don't pit until the very last moment, because we wanted to make it a little bit more interesting for the stream when we were live streaming this. So we deliberately don't pit until lap 9 to make it more entertaining, because we've got to overtake our way to the front rather than just pitting at the start and jumping everyone, because that can be a bit boring in my view. So yeah, we're staying out to lap 9. And we're going to work our way through the traffic. You see here now we've managed to catch up to a car, as another car there looks like he got a little hit off on the second chicane and has been reset to the track. So that's a free position for ourselves, up to P5 now, and very close to P3 and 4 in this daily race. So it's actually going quite well. We're getting through the traffic. We're not getting, too much incidents. We've been hit a few times, but nothing too bad. We haven't lost massive amounts of time. We're losing like second here, second there, but it's not drastic, and that's okay if you're working your way through the field and actually getting ahead of people. So now, again, we're going to come up to the Ascari chicane and see if we can get as close as we can to P4 in that Supra. The Supra very quick in 6th gear, 5th and 6th gear, and you can see there the Corvette a little bit sketchy as we go through here. That's where its weakness is when you're following a car that close. You can see the Corvette in front actually lost the rear through the Ascari chicane there, and that's give the ability for the Supra to jump that Corvette, and hopefully we can get past this Corvette on the right hand side also into the braking zone. So again, brake a little bit later, hold that inside line, downshift into third, and take that inside line to put ourselves into P4. You can see the Corvette, I think, kind of backed out there. You can see he's actually ran wide and picked up possible dirty tyres there on that final corner. He's actually going to bump draft us there, so that's quite nice. And that's going to give us a nice boost now down the straight. A little bit of a bump draft and slipstream. This is going to give us an opportunity. So are we going to go for ascend? To right, we're going to go for ascend. It's a bit of a lunge here, and we're going to go for that late brake, see if we can make it down the inside. But yeah, we just about keep it on the track, and we make sure we give space to the Supra there on the outside, and he takes that position back. It was worth a shot, but yeah, maybe a little bit too far back and a little bit too late on the brakes to make it work. So yeah, nearly, but not quite. Nearly a Daniel Ricciardo special there, but now he's back in front of us. So now we've got to try and get back into that slipstream and see if we can work our way behind him and get back past him. So through the second chicane, brake as late as we can, down to second gear for that rotation, back up to third gear for that traction, and the acceleration out of the chicane. And you can see we've got a really nice run here now, and the Corvette is going to be able to get up the inside for the first Lesmo, and that is a nice move up into P3. So now again, we're going to focus on the exit for the second Lesmo, and now just keep pushing and see if we can catch up to the next cars. You can see there, we're only on lap 4, so not bad so far. We're going to skip now to lap 7. It was fairly clean running there, and we're about to start, I think, our fastest lap of the race, this start of it. This is where I realised that the Corvette has actually got pretty good potential, because that was our first okay lap, because it was our first real clean running lap there on lap 7. And now this lap was the lap that made me realise that the Corvette actually has pretty good potential at this track. Now, we obviously already knew that it was pretty good, but I didn't quite realise just how good it could be. You can see again, on the exit of the first chicane, if you get it right with this Corvette, I think it's quite a bit faster on the pull out of the corner than the Supra. So you can see again there, really nice exit, and now we're working our way into that second chicane. And again, one thing I'll point out with this car is in clean air, it's very nice to drive around this track. And also, track limits seem a bit fairer with this car, because I think it's slightly wider on the rear, and it gives a slightly different perspective of the car. You think you're cutting it, but you're not, and it actually makes you feel like you're getting away with a little bit more when it's just due to the view and the angle that you're at with this car versus a Supra and stuff. So yeah, this car does seem to favour the track limits on this combination over other cars, and it seems to work quite well. And again, you can get quite good exits out of the second Lesmo if you get it right again. I think the gearing helps on this car versus the Supra. It seems a little bit more comfortable for me to get that exit out of the second Lesmo. And again, as we come into the Ascari chicane, was purple again through here. You can see 3-4 attempts, nearly 4 attempts up, and then we just got to try and get a good exit off this corner, playing with that throttle through the corner, nice and smooth. Good exit there, using all the curb, and now we're powering our way into that final corner again. We're going to try and get the exit. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky with this car when you're trying to get on the power, because it has got a lot of torque in the engine. So as you come through here, you have to be very, very careful. You can see letting it rotate, and then just careful on that throttle. You can see how I'm putting like 70, 80, and then once I'm confident, 100% throttle. And now we're going to work our way to the finishing line. And we can actually see we actually go over the line for a nice 48 lap there. I think that's not a bad lap at all, considering we've got no slipstream there, and it shows the potential of the Corvette. And you can see by the time we get to lap 9, we've managed to catch up to P2 here. So going quite well this race. We know that P1 is about 6 seconds ahead of us, so we're not really fighting for the lead in this battle, but hopefully fighting for a podium. We know there's a car behind that has possibly already pitted. You can see the Canadian driver behind us pitted in this race very early from the front of the field, and we're basically fighting P2 for the final podium position here. So we're going to go into the pits behind him. We will get a bit of slipstream advantage, so we'll gain more speed on entry, and the Corvette is a little bit quicker than the Supra, I think, on acceleration. So out of the pit exit, you will be slightly quicker. So no tyre change. Yes, it's one of them strange races again. We're not changing tyres, we're not putting fuel, and you can see we actually gained quite a bit there, purely because of the Corvette's acceleration through the early gears. And now we're in a position to attack P3. Now, as we come out this corner, we see a yellow flag, and we see a car facing the wrong way. Now, at that point, I thought, oh, he's obviously spun it on the curb, he's lost control of the car, and that's put him in, out of the race, basically, and we're now up to a guaranteed podium. And now we're going to fight our way to see if we can go for P2. So we're going to go on the inside now. I'm surprised he didn't defend this, but it's clear that maybe he wanted to try and hold the outside line, and we give him that space on the outside there, make sure he's got room on the apex. And that was a lovely piece of driving from that Supra there, because I can tell you some drivers would just run you wide, but he actually gave us the space, we gave him the space, and a nice move there up into P2. So at this stage, I'm thinking, this is looking good for a P2. We saw the car that had spun, and we presume that he'd lost it on the curb. So fast forwarding our way up into the Escari chicane, and all we've got to do now is basically hold on for a nice P2. However, we look in the distance and I see a penalty, and at this stage I thought that this driver had got a pit lane penalty for maybe, you know, I wasn't really paying attention at that time. I thought that he pitted with us, but he hadn't, obviously, because we saw him behind. But then we see that he just, out of nowhere, just decides to take me out on that final corner, and I had no idea what that was all about. It was just so stupid. I'm really bad sore loser, really, to be honest. That's the kind of driver I despise on this game. People who just don't want to get beat, and they actually sacrifice their own race again just to not get beat, and they still get beat anyway, because now he's got a 3-second penalty for hitting me. And we watch this now. We decided to have a little look at the replay, and now we find out why that driver had spun. So watch this. Accelerates into him, pushes him, and actually turns the steering wheel to try and take him out. Deliberate takeout there, and again, another sore losing move there. He didn't want to get beat by that driver, and thankfully got a 4-second penalty. But one thing I will say is, a bit confused how that is a 4-second penalty, but what he does to us here is only a 3-second penalty. It does make you question what's going on with the penalty system if that's a 4 and this is a 3, because in my view I'd say this one's a little bit worse overall. I think this should be a 5 to 10-second penalty, what he does here. This should be a 10-second race ruining penalty. You can see as he comes here, he just completely deliberately takes us out, and absolutely disgusting driving. But yeah, in the end of the day, he made himself look a lot worse, and hopefully we can get this information through to PD, forward the replay through to them, and let them see if they can give him a warning or something. I don't know what they'll do, but it's not nice to see. Hopefully, you know, they will take some action. I have heard from people in the stream that that driver is quite known for doing that. I wasn't aware of it. But yeah, not the greatest situation to see there. Very sore loser. Not much we could do about that. Now, if you do enjoy these videos, do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you've dealt with that driver before in the America regions, because I haven't come across him before, but apparently he's known for that. So yeah, very interesting that that's his tactics for trying to win a race. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back with more videos. Take care, everyone.